welcome back to the channel. It's Carmiel Marceline, and today we are talking about repotting. I'm going to walk you through the basics. How do you tell that you need to repot your plant? What materials you need, what type of soil, and then lastly, how do you actually do it? Get excited because we're going to talk about all of that today.
Does your plant need to be repot?
The first step is identifying which plants actually need to be repot. There are two ways that help me determine what plants need that TLC. So I'm going to show you them right now. So using my Philodendron golden crocodile, which I'm a little embarrassed to show you, the first tip is looking at the very top of the planter, kind of see. If the roots are winding at the very top and you see them going in a circle, that means it's ready to be repot. So this one, I definitely should have done it several months, maybe a year ago, but you know what? We're doing it now. The second way is using my Philodendron Jose Buono, which is so pretty. It's currently growing new little things right now. But you actually look underneath your planter, and ideally you have a planter with drainage holes, and you'll see, you can see it right there, but you'll see some roots hanging, peeking through that drainage hole. And that means, baby, we're ready to repot.
How to choose the right planter. After you've picked the plants that need to be repot, you want to make sure that you're picking the right planter. It's finding one with a drainage hole right here, because that's going to keep the plant from just sitting in excess water, which does eventually lead to root rot if you do it for a prolonged period of time. But let's say you went to Michael's or you went to Target and they've got a really compelling planter selection there, and you're like, oh my God, it's so pretty. I need this. That's okay. Just make sure that you have a nursery pot that you can actually put inside. If you want to go really far, you could actually make your own holes in the pots directly. You just need to buy drill bits that work for pottery, for ceramics, and a drill. And then I use like a mister, and I can wet some of the ceramic as I'm drilling into it. The last thing I'll say is you don't want to find pots that are way too big for your plant and the plant's root system, because that's one way to potentially kill your plant. You want to make sure that you're going up in pot size about 1 to 2 inches at the most larger than your existing planter. So in this case with my Jose Buono, which is right here, this one is about a 5-inch pot. So I would need to go up at a minimum 6 inches in diameter and a maximum of 7 inches in diameter. It'll still give the roots enough space to grow, to feel themselves out, and it'll also increase chances of survival, because when you do repot plants, they get shocked, right? You're moving their home. Repotting essentials.
After you have your desired pot, it's important to ensure that you have something called systemic granules. And this is just a proactive supplement you can put on your soil, like on the top. You can mix it into the soil, and it's gonna help keep any pests at bay, which is exciting. Another thing is earthworm castings. So this is what I use for organic fertilizer
What's great about this is if you just put like maybe an inch layer on the very top of your soil and you just water, it'll slowly release that fertilizer so you don't over fertilize, potentially harm your plants. What's also great about it is that you don't have to keep measuring out new fertilizer if you do a diluted liquid fertilizer. So it's also an awesome hack I use. So oftentimes I've found cactus succulent soil works really well for all of my plants because there's usually perlite. There is orchid bark in there, and that's going to create more bits of surface area just so that it's super chunky to allow for more air and water flow.
Repot with me, golden crocodile philodendron.
Okay, let's get to repotting, shall we? So I have a handy dandy, I'm trying to move all my stuff. I have a handy dandy little planting station that folds up. I also got this from Amazon, not sponsored, wish so. And you just snap the corners and it creates a little table. And we love that. It also keeps me from making a mess. Roll up my sleeves. Take the nursery pot outside of this planter that you see here. Pull gently. I also recommend to not repot your plants when it is wet because it's gonna make it easier to take away the soil if it's not like soggy. Okay, so I just plucked this entire thing right here. And you can see that there's globs of soil. So what I wanna do is I wanna slowly shake it off gently. Still shaking them out. So I have now shaken a whole bunch of it off, and you can kind of see all of the roots are further separated from one another. Also inspect the roots because you want to make sure that you don't have any root rot. And luckily for me, the roots of this philodendron seem to be in really good shape. So I don't need to cut off some of the roots or sanitize them like I did in my other video. So we're starting from a really good place here. So I also have some of the soil, like right here. So I wanna keep some of that because you wanna have some of the old soil that you can mix with the new soil. So it's like the plant has some semblance of home. It's like if you go to a friend's sleepover and you bring your favorite stuffed animal, like just me. I am going to put about 1/3 of that old soil in. You see it right there. So you have like a base, and then you want to put the plant slowly inside, and you want to hold it slightly elevated because you want the roots to have some space and airflow. So I've got my well draining soil mixture right here. Slowly, just scoop a little bit more. Okay. You can kind of see here. I'm gonna just kind of go like that. And then do this. You want to make sure that when you are repotting, you're not pressing down the soil because that means you're going to reduce airflow between the pockets of soil. So keep it nice and light. So that is the plant. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but I want to be proactive about my pest control. So I will take my systemic granules and I will just shake a little bit on the very top. Put my earthworm castings. Okay, I am going to do a little layer just here on top. We just repotted together. So that is one of the first plants that I need to repot. I'm going to give you a nice bird's eye view for my other one, just so that you can see how I repot from different angles. So we like a thoughtful queen, right? And then yeah, I'm just gonna put some water underneath so it can wick it all the way up. I will say this is a lot better than last year, because last year I had to repot essentially all of my plants, especially like my bird of paradise. I had to get like a 20-something inch planter because of how big the roots were. And I bought maybe 8 bags of soil because that was how many plants I needed to repot. So this year I'm thankful that I only have to do maybe 3 or 4 plants, because everything else is, I just repot them. I am going to show you how to repot bird's eye view. Cool, let's get to it.
Repot with me, Philodendron billietiae.
This is a Philodendron billietiae. Let's see how pretty like the leaves are. Anyway, this is in a 2-inch little baby nursery pot. I bought this almost a year ago, actually. It was a little starter. I think it maybe had like 4 leaves on it, but it's definitely grown and it's repot ready. What I'm gonna do is grab a nursery pot, which I have, and I am going to fill it with 1/3 soil. But first I'm going to slowly take it out of the pot. And you can probably see from this how incredibly root bound it is. So in this case, I have to be extra careful trying to take the soil out, because I don't want to break the roots. Because when you repot it, you want it to be relaxed in that new pot. You don't want it clenching. And that's, if I had to imagine, that's how a plant felt when its roots are so incredibly bound like this. That's what I'd imagine. We are trying to slowly just take out some of these amazing roots. You can kind of see when we first started how incredibly bound it was, and then you get to see it now, and it's very loose, which is exciting. I'm gonna take out a little bit more. This person planted it in sphagnum moss, which is why you're seeing some moss here. Okay. So I'm gonna take a little bit of that, put it back in, and then I'm gonna add my new soil in here, which is what you see. And then I am going to hold it up in the center. You can see some of the roots already going toward the bottom. And I'm going to cover the roots with soil. Systemic granules. Earthworm castings. And voila, you have a fully repot plant.
Repot with me, Fiddle fig.
We are repotting the best for last, and we've saved it. So this is a fiddle fig I've had for 3 years, and how I've kept it alive this long, I don't know if I can answer that for you. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try and just loosen it a little bit from the sides. Oh my God. I feel like this needs to be a 2-person job. Okay. Okay. Whew. I don't even, okay. Alrighty. Loosen up the roots. Good thing I didn't get a manicure. That would have been a lost cause. I'm gonna be here for maybe another 15 minutes. Hi, Otis. He's like, Mom, what are you doing? It's a great question, Otis. Honestly, I don't know. Just shaking, we're just shaking. A workout in terms of arm strength, but also in terms of patience, because I really just want to like rip, some of the soil out, but I know that's gonna hurt the roots, and I don't wanna do that. So we are in a conundrum, aren't we? Oh my God. Do you see this nonsense? I literally just repot this one last year. I didn't think I was gonna have to do it again. We did our best with this mess. Then I'm gonna get my planter, which is this one. And I'm gonna fill this up. It's having a moment. Alrighty, so we're gonna take this, we're gonna put it in, so it's like that.
Because this fiddle fig is so huge, it's taken me quite a bit of time, so instead of letting you watch me do this for 15-20 minutes, I'm going to speed it up along for you, so enjoy!
Okay, there you have it, folks. If you liked today's video, hit the like button. If you want to see more of these videos, hit the subscribe button. And if you want more videos and you got ideas, comment down below. I'm here. And with that, I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye!